Hello everyone, welcome back. In my last two videos, we have created the read-only list report using the list page and object page. In this video, we will enhance the same application. You remember from my last video, you can see this particular application, how it look like now. We have created one basic interface CDS view on top of demo connection table. On top of that interface view, CDS interface view, we created the service definition and service binding and created the simple list report application. We did little bit use of annotations to display like this. We have added the select options. We have created the object page. We created one facet in the object page. In this video also, we'll enhance further this read-only application. What we are going to do, apart from the information from demo connection table, we will try to fetch the information from the flight table for the additional fields. For example, I want the flight date or plane type, those kind of information we will get, and those information we will not display in the same list, we will display in the object page, second facet. Second thing, we have created this particular select options, but we didn't. If you try to do F4, we will not get any value help over there because we didn't attach. Obviously, I will show you as well. We will try to attach the value help from them. Apart from that value help, we will try to add one generic search field on top of this list where we can search this entire report, space some of the fields, and we will display tags for the airline ID. Currently it is displaying the code, which is not good for the user that can't understand the what is A, what is AZ. We will try to display some tags along with this airline IDs. We will try to change some labels as well using the object annotation. Let's get started. First thing, what we have to do, we have to enhance our data model. As I told you, we have to fetch the data from some other table as well. For example, I want to fetch the data from the demo flight table to get the date and the airline type, or we can say aeroplane type. To do that, we have to create on top of that flight table, we will create one interface view that will be GI flight underscore tech underscore R, means that is read only purpose. So always follow the naming convention. GI for this interface view, and connection Technomaniac, I should use underscore R to indicate this is created only for the read only applications as of now. So you should use underscore R, that will indicate it is the read only interface. In the same way, I will gonna create one another interface view on the demo carrier table. From that we will get that the code information. A means American Airlines. Those instead of code display, will along with the code we will display the text also, that I will get from this particular interface. For the value help also, we will create another interface view, that is GI airport tech standard value help. This is stdvh we have used for the value help to indicate this interface view is giving the value help. So we will get the value help for the airport IDs. So currently we are displaying the select option, or we can say selection filter selection as airport IDs, departure and destination. There we will give the value help. So this will be our overall picture of our application once we will the model, we can say, once we will create this in our system. So let's jump into the system and start with this interface view creation. In my last video, we have created GI connection Technomaniac interface view on top of DMO connection table, database table, and we created one service binding, service definition, G flight Technomaniac, and we created the service definition also, service binding also, that is GUI flight Technomaniac V2. We can preview our application from here. We have to select the interface view and click on preview button, and we can preview our existing application till now what we have created. You can see we have two filter options by default available. We have the list of the connections which is available from the connection table. We have created the object page where we are currently displaying the connection detail, which is having the, apart from the our basic detail, we are having some additional detail called the flight distance. Let me go back. Now what we will do, we want to display one additional facet in this particular connects. Along with the connection detail, I want to display the flight detail, where in the flight detail I want to display the, apart from the basic data, airline ID and flight number, I want to display the date and the aeroplane type here below in the another facet, and that will be displayed in form of the list page, list report, line item by line item. For example, this connection we have the multiple that flight, this connection we have multiple flights on the different dates, so that we are gonna display here. To do that, what we will do, first we have to create interface views. So on top of we have already one interface view. Right click over here, create new interface view, and the interface view name will be as I suggested. That should be, I took the screenshot again, that should be GI flight take underscore R. So GI flight take underscore R, that will be flight information, and that will be on top of the our DMO flight table. Control space you will do, you will get the help flight table. You can click on next button, select the appropriate TR, click on next button, and we are going to create define view entity and click on finish button. Since we are created with reference to that particular flight demo table, so it faced the all the fields from that particular table, and we can give the alias name for this particular table if we want, and if you want to leave as is, that is also fine. Now what we are going to do, you can see we are getting one error. This particular price field is a amount field. I discussed in my previous video, whenever you are having the distance field or amount field in the CDS entity, we have to mandatorily give the unit of measure for that particular amount field. How we can give? Just think it out. Which annotation we will use? We will use here @ you are right, semantic dot, and this is for the amount, so we will use amount currency code. What is the currency code we are using? This is the currency code for this particular amount, and activate this particular interface CDS view. Now we have created this CDS view. Now we have to call this particular CDS view in our CDS view. So we will go to the, we will open parallelly, just drag and drop, minimize this one, open our main CDS view. We are selecting the data from the connection. Now we will get the data from the flight as well through this CDS. We will establish the relationship between the GI connection Technomaniac and the GI flight take underscore R using the association concept. I have explained in my CDS view playlist in detail, in depth. If you don't know, you can go and watch out that particular thing. Here we are going to use association. We have to give the cardinality. Obviously this should be 1 to star in this case, because particular connection can have multiple flight. In one connection for one airport to another airport, we can have multiple flight on different dates. So that is the reason we have the 1 to star relationship, and association to this particular interface view. So once we give the association, we have to give some on condition, and here we will get the fields from the projection table, $projection, $projection, and we will get the carrier ID, control space, equal to this particular field we will select is underscore flight. Since association name we have to give underscore, and then we have to give the association name as per the SAP standard. So you have to make sure underscore flight you have to give, and that again I have to use underscore flight dot control space carrier ID, and one more condition we can give, I think connection ID as well, and $projection again. Some people get confused why we use the $projection and what is the $projection. $projection basically whatever our resultant output, whatever this list is there, that field we are referring instead of referring the connection table directly. So whatever the fields are available in this particular list, those fields we are referring. Why we are referring those fields? Because we are not going to use this underscore flight association in this particular list. We are just exposing the association. We are using the exposed association. So what is this? If you don't know association, you can watch out my CDS view series, and obviously control space I will do connection ID equal to underscore flight F control space, the search help is there, dot connection ID. That's it. Shift F1, control F3. We are getting one warning over here because we didn't use this particular association in this one. So let's use, we will expose this association at the last of our list, control V, and you can write down some comment here. We are writing the association over here, association. So like that it will be clear. Anyway, we are giving the naming convention, it's clear here itself, exposed association basically. Let me activate control F3. Now this warning will go. Now we have established the relationship between those particular two what we can say interface CDS view. But I want to display this particular data, as I told you, in my second object page here. So I have to use some UI annotation as well. So how we can do? First, we will create one UI facet. So we have already one UI facet. So we will create another UI facet. We will copy this one, control C, along with this bracket, control C. We can create the multiple since it is an array. Wherever the script this is first one, we can create the second one. As soon as you create second one, we have to give some ID. So first one also we have to give some ID, so we can easily understand this is our first facet. So we will have something called ID, control space you will do, and we have to give some ID name. This is should be connection, and second ID we will give for this one. Obviously this should be comma separated. ID, control space you can do, and in this case shift control space, shift enter, and in this case this should be flight because we are displaying the flight detail over here. Purpose will be standard because we are displaying in the main Fiori content area. So just we want to display this is the main page, and in this content area also only. That is the reason we are giving standard. And instead of identical reference, we will use here line item reference because we want to display the table. We want to display multiple flight line. So that is the reason we will use here line item reference. Control space, line item reference. And position will be 20 instead of 10. And label we have to change, obviously. This is flight detail, so we can change, we can say flights. So like that we can create this particular. But in this case, this detail is not available in this CDS view. This details will be gonna come from this CDS view. That we have to tell, so that we will tell using one another. Control Z, control space you will do. First you have to do the comma, then control space. We have one annotation called, one second, target not target element, I think association we have target. Okay, target element only, and target element we will get the target element from the association, this particular association. So that is the reason we are using underscore flight target element. But we have given the line item reference here, but we in the target, in this particular target, we didn't specify which line item come where, which line item come where, that we have to specify yet. So as you know from my previous video, we can specify using this UI line item annotation here. So we will do the same over here, @UI dot control space line item, enter, and we will give the position, control space position 10. As I told you, this is relative. You just copy this, control C, control V, control V, control V, and this time this will be here. Enter, control V, control V, control V, and last control V. Just change the position. This should be 20, this should be 30, this should be 40, this should be 50, this should be 60, this should be 70, and this should be 80. That's it. So Shift F1, Control F3. So we have given the line item. So line item reference we have given, and we have given here, so which line item come where. This is one thing we have to do, and let's see our piece how it is displaying now. The facet got added or not. If I come here and let me refresh my second object page, I just want to see that particular facet got added or not. It didn't get added. Why it is? Let me at least comment this particular target element and see again, control F3. Okay, there is name slides. FLIZHTS, control F3, and let me refresh. Label I changed, thus nothing else, and I commented that line item. I just want to see that at least the facet got added or not. Let me refresh it out. Yes, I can see now the second facet got added, but now the details are not coming. Why the details are not coming? The problem with this target is correct only. We have to use target one with the comma separated list, control F3. The problem here it is, we are using this particular view entity, but we didn't expose this particular interface view or interface CDS view as part of our service. So we have to expose this particular entity as well, because we are getting some values from here. Control C, so we can do here. Initially, first time when I was created this one, I did this kind of mistake. So that is the reason. When you do first time, now you will not do this mistake. If you are without knowing you do, definitely you do this kind of mistakes. Control Z. And you have to use control F3. Now I have exposed this particular service as well. Now let me go and refresh my application. Now I'm getting in this flight data or not related to AA2678. Yeah, I got the two flights, one on the July 16, 2023 and second on the May 11, 2024. Second thing, what we will do, we will add, let me come back to our list report page, or you want to see that other connection also, that also you can see. Suppose I want to see this one, For this connection, how many flights are there? For this connection also we have the 2 flights. On one is, I think so, on same date. And let me go back. Like that we can check out for the other connections as well. Now I want to display this airline name. So where we can find this airline name? We have another table called the carrier table. So let me open the table first. Control Shift A, place DMO / CARR. Carrier database table is there. Let me see what kind of data in this one. This will be having the, along with the carrier ID, we will be having the carrier name as well. Let me do F8. You can see we have the carrier ID and we have the carrier name as well. I want to display along with the carrier ID this carrier name as well. For that, I have to create on top of this table. Let me connect to my editor. So sometime what will happen, you want to display, you want to see this particular object in your editor. What you have to do, you have to select, go there, and you have to link with your editor. This is the arrow symbol in the, that will automatically display here. The same way I want to display this particular carrier table as well. Let me select it. It is going or not? I think it is not displaying. Let me connect again. Ideally it should display, but not an issue. What we will do, on top of this table, we want to create the CDS interface view. So for doing that, let me create new CDS view, new data definition. This time ZI underscore carrier. So we have the name ZI underscore carrier tech R underscore tech underscore R. R means read only. So carrier detail. So my with reference, so I want to create DMO / CA control space, I can do carrier. So click me next button, select appropriate TR. Let me click next button. I want to use this only. Let me click on finish button. So we have successfully created this particular interface view. In this, out of this, I don't want this created by created it, nowhere I am using. So let me delete this ones. Why we have to fetch the unnecessarily, and just we want this 3 field, and from this particular table, let me activate Control F3 to display along with the airline ID this name. We have to call this particular interface CDS view in our main CDS view. So what we will do, we will get this data from this particular CDS view and we will use this data. So the text will be displayed along with our airline ID. To do that, first we have to establish the relationship between those two interface, our main connection interface and this particular ZI carrier TACR interface. So let me do one thing, go up, association. This time we have for one carrier ID or airline ID, we will be having one description, because I can see we don't have the description in multiple languages here. So we will be having one. So I will say 1 to 1 association to this particular Control C CDS interface view is underscore airline. I can give. There should be some condition obviously on $projection. Again, I will get the field from projection list, carrier ID, control space you can do, carrier ID, and from the association we will get the carrier ID. That's it. Shift F1, control F3. We are getting the warning over here. Since we didn't use this but association anywhere, let me expose this association also along with the flight underscore control space airline association. I want to expose. Control F3. Now from this particular association I want to display the text as well along with the ID. To do that, we have to enhance this carrier ID field. So there is two ways here. One way, I can get directly the particular, I can use that particular field airline.name, and then I can connect that field with this particular carrier ID, or I can directly fetch from the association itself. So both way I will show you. So first way, what we have to do for this particular carrier ID, we have to use @object model annotation dot control space text. I want to get the text for this particular carrier ID to display along with this particular ID. Dot control space you will do. Either you can directly fetch from the element. So what you have to do, you have to select the element. Here you have to give the element name. For example, suppose this is the this particular field is the giving the name of this particular ID. I just had to copy from here and I have to paste from here. It should be available in the same list. But in this case, since it is available in the association, what we will do, instead of using the element, I will use the association. Shift enter, and I will give the association name here, airline. Once I give the association name, it will try to search here some description field. So we have to indicate here this particular name field is our description for any field. So for doing that, we have to use @semantic dot control space text equal to true. That annotation we have to use to indicate this particular field is acting as a text field for any ID, this particular ID. If we can indicate multiple field with the text field, but when this annotation search, whatever the first it will get that particular field. So that is very important. If suppose we have the multiple field along with this name field, we have the language field as well, or we have the multiple description for this particular ID. So for that language we have to tell @semantic language equal to true. In that case, this both field will name and the language both field will be considered to get this particular connection ID as per the user language. So that's how it is work. I just want to explain that object model text, how it will work with element and with the association. So we have done. Let me activate both the things. Control F3. My connection interface view. Second, I will activate my this airline interface view or carrier interface view. Let me refresh my application and see the data how it is coming. But if you open this line item level, still we are having the IDs over here. You can see here, I can see the airline ID because it is coming from my connection, but in the flight detail still I have the IDs. For that also we have to follow the same step what we did here in our flight table as well. So we have to go in our flight interface view and we have to connect the same way what we have done, association to one, Control V. Whatever we did here, we have to do the same. So basically I want to show you. Let me increase the size. Why I am not getting the arrow? Now I got. Okay, you can see I connected this particular flight interface also with this carrier ID, and I want to expose this one. Control C. At the end I will expose. Control V, Shift F1, Control F3, and same way I will use the object model annotation. Model.text .association, and I have to give the association name. Control C, Control V, Control F3, Control F3. it got activated. Let me check now for our line item also it came or not. Here itself, here also it should come. Let me refresh it out. So you can see these are the two fields we can display now along with the ID. Due to a lot of background noise, I'm not able to continue this video here. So what we will do, we will stop this video here only. But in my next video, what we will do, let me come back. We will put some value help here. You can see currently if you do F4, we are not getting any value help. We will try to add some search help for this particular departure airport IDs and the destination airport IDs. And not only that, we will enhance this particular name appropriately. Currently it is saying departure airport. Instead of that departure airport, we will put departure airport ID. And these fields also we will change. That we can't do for the selection screen using the labels. There is the different way. I will show you that one also. And apart from this, what else we can do here in this application? Other things are working fine. We are getting the text as well, and we will add one search field which will be the generic search apart from this particular filter criteria. That will be search from this fuzzy search we will add, and we will see that also. Before going to that video, please like this video, share these videos with others as well. With that, thank you and happy learning.